Did you ever realize something was wrong long before you understood what it meant? I was 11 years old the first time I noticed my father stopped blinking normally. I do not mean he never blinked. I mean he blinked like someone remembering to do it. Slow, deliberate, as if it took effort. At the time, I could not have explained why that mattered. I just knew it made my chest feel tight in a way I did not have words for yet. My dad had always been quiet, not cold, just reserved. He worked long hours, came home tired, ate dinner with us, and asked the same simple questions every night. How was school? Did you finish your homework? Did anything interesting happen? Normal questions. Normal life. The change was small enough that no one else noticed. He started standing too still when he listened. He stopped interrupting. He stopped correcting me when I got details wrong. He smiled more, but only with his mouth. I noticed because kids notice patterns adults ignore. One night, I dropped a glass in the kitchen. It shattered loudly across the tile. I froze, waiting for him to react. He did not flinch. He just looked down at the broken glass and then at me. That was loud, he said calmly. Not annoyed, not concerned, just observant. Something about that scared me. A week later, my mom told me my dad had been in an accident at work. She said it lightly, like it was no big deal. A fall, a hit to the head. Doctor said he was lucky. He's fine, she said, just a little shaken up. I wanted to tell her he was not fine. I did not know how. After the accident, he stopped sleeping in his bed. He would lie awake on the couch, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. When I passed him on the way to the bathroom at night, he would turn his head to follow me, not quickly, smoothly, like a camera. One night, I asked him why he did not sleep. He smiled. I like being awake when everyone else is safe, he said. That sentence stayed with me. At school, I started dreading going home. Not because he yelled or hurt us. He never did. It was worse than that. He watched. He listened. He remembered everything. Once, weeks after I casually mentioned a kid named Aaron in my class, my dad asked me if Aaron still sat by the window. I had never told him where Aaron sat. When I asked how he knew that, he said, "You talk more than you think." He was wrong. I talked less. The night everything broke was quiet. Too quiet. My mom was working late. It was just me and him in the house. He made dinner and placed my plate in front of me, adjusting the fork so it sat perfectly straight. "You should eat," he said. "You burn too many calories worrying." I did not remember telling him I worried. Halfway through dinner, he asked me something that did not belong. "Do you remember the man who used to live here before us?" My stomach tightened. "No," I said. "We've always lived here." He tilted his head slightly. "No," he said. "You moved in after." I shook my head. "That's not true." He smiled again. "Memory is fragile," he said, "especially after trauma." I pushed my chair back and stood up. "I'm going to my room." He did not stop me. That scared me more than if he had. In my room, I locked the door and sat on the floor with my back against it. I stayed there until my mom came home. I told her I felt sick. She believed me. A month later, my dad disappeared. No explanation. Just gone. The police said adults leave sometimes. My mom cried and apologized like it was her fault. Life moved on the way it always does when kids are involved. Years passed. I grew up. I forgot the details, the way his eyes tracked movement, the way his smile never reached his face. I told myself it was trauma filling in gaps that did not exist. Until I was 26 and working a late shift at a grocery store. A man came through my line just before closing. He stood too still. He blinked slowly. He smiled with his mouth. My hands started shaking before I understood why. He placed his items on the counter with careful precision. Canned soup, bread, batteries. He looked at my name tag. "You grew up?" he said. I felt cold all over. "I'm sorry," I said. "Do I know you?" He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You used to lock your bedroom door," he said. That was smart. I could not breathe. I hit the silent alarm under the counter. Training kicked in, even though my mind was screaming. He straightened up, still smiling. "You noticed early," he said. "That's why I left." "Left?" I whispered. He nodded. "You were starting to see the difference." "What difference?" I asked. He blinked. "Once?" Slowly. "The man who raised you didn't survive the accident," he said. "I just finished the job of filling the space." The security guard rounded the corner. The man stepped back, lifted his hands politely, and said, "Wrong person. Sorry." Then he walked out. The police never found him. They told me stress can cause false memories, that people misrecognize faces all the time. I nodded and agreed, but I started checking my locks every night because sometimes when I close my eyes, I remember how my father used to blink, and I know exactly when he stopped being my dad.